Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest severe weather coverage. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon thus far. We are going live with severe weather coverage. We have a tornado warning currently located just outside of Houston, Texas, and we are expecting today to be a fairly active day of severe weather, with several tornadoes being a possibility this afternoon and evening, and we could even see the possibility of a strong tornado or two with any discrete supercells that form. And unfortunately right now we do have a discrete supercell ongoing just outside of Houston, Texas. This is in the Cypress community near the village of Cypress Lakes, just northwest of Jersey Village. You can actually see the velocities right now. They look a little contaminated, but the rotation's actually fairly strong on this storm right now. It is currently tracking towards Corville, as well as Lake Forest, Longwood Village, and Coles Crossing. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think a strong tornado is out of the question right now with this storm as it continues to track to the northeast. This is also near Copperfield and Satsuma, just northwest of Jersey Village. So if you're in this tornado warning in Harris or Montgomery counties, you need to seek shelter immediately, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. Over the last several scans, we've seen a pretty clear area of inflow, which means that it's a pretty healthy supercell overall, and there is a hook echo on it, and we have quite a bit of rotation developing, and this could drop a tornado as it moves into Cypress, Texas. We actually have a live camera bottom left of your screen that is actually inside of this tornado warning. I think they're trying to adjust the camera, but we should have a view of this storm in just a moment as this comes right over the camera. But the velocities are pretty strong right now, right over Town Lake, and it's gonna be crossing right over Northwest Freeway here in just a moment, moving into the south side of Cypress, and then moving towards Lakewood Forest. I would not rule out a tornado with this storm as it continues to move to the northeast. If we look at the terminal radar site, which is a bit more of a localized radar site, you can also see the rotation here over the last several scans. It actually had a couplet right over Fry Road, which may have been a tornado briefly just off to the northwest of Westgate. So we may have just had a tornado. It looks like it could be recycling, but the rotation is still very strong, and I do think a possibility of a strong tornado is definitely on the table as this storm continues to track to the northeast. We also have multiple storm chasers that are en route for this storm right now as well that we are going to be keeping an eye on.
Storm front.
This is a live shot on that camera that's inside of the tornado warning. I believe they are trying to adjust this camera. Let me go over to the... Oh, all right, so they're moving it. All right, let's see. It's over to the right. And there you go. That's the storm right there. So that's the area of rotation that we are looking at. Look at the mesocyclone. It's very circular right there. That right there on the middle left of your screen, that is the area of interest. This is a live shot again in the Cypress, Texas area of this storm that is rolling overhead right now. Again, this is in Harris and Montgomery counties. And so this is right now moving right overhead. Not seeing any tornado right now. I would actually look at that. That's the inflow tail. So we got the inflow tail right there in the middle. The wall cloud is off to the left there. You can see it spinning a little bit. So right there on the far left side of your screen, that's the wall cloud. That's where a tornado would be trying to drop. All right, so this is on the radar omega cyclone port, again back over just northwest of Houston. You can watch this camera also inside of the radar omega app. This is located on the south side of Cypress right now, where we do have a wall cloud and an inflow tail and a pretty strong area of rotation on the bottom right of your screen. And this is continuing to track to the northeast right now at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So this is a pretty quick moving storm as of right now. They are still moving this camera around. Let me go over to... Let's do 2. This is another camera that's also in Houston, and you can see the storm off to the left. This is the FS01 camera, which is a few miles just to the southeast of Cypress. So this also has a little bit of a view of this storm right now. And again, you can kind of see the area of interest again is going to be off to the left. Let's go back over to this camera here. This is OFC camera. So again, the inflow tail's on the left. We'll see if they turn the camera back to the left, but that's the area of interest. And so if we had a tornado, it'd be off to the left. We'll see if they move it back here in a second. Again, if you are just tuning in, this is a tornado warning on the northwest side of Houston, Texas. This storm is currently tracking to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And this is a very discrete supercell. Pretty good chance that it will drop a tornado here pretty soon. The area of rotation is beginning to get wrapped a little bit by rain. And again, the inflow is still pretty strong. It's a pretty organized supercell. It will be approaching the, I believe it's Champion Force here over the next few minutes, and then approaching Spring, Texas, and then going in the direction almost of the George Bush Intercontinental Airport on the north side of Houston. We do have a new radar scan coming in, so we're going to wait for that, and hopefully they shift the camera back to the left. I think they're having some technical issues with the cameras, but it's off to the left if they move the camera back here again, just northwest of Houston, and it looks like they are doing that now. So this one looks like, once again, on the left side of your screen, that is the wall cloud. We had a pretty clean inflow tail just a moment ago. Look at all the rain, though. That area of rotation is about to get wrapped in rain very quickly, which means if we do end up getting a tornado, it could end up being rain-wrapped. But we just saw it there for a brief moment. That was the area of interest, was right there on the right. That is the wall cloud, and it's starting to get wrapped a little bit by rain. Here's the latest radar scan. So here's the rotation right now. It's over Town Lake, Texas. This is where that camera is located. So it should be looking more in the west direction. It's looking southwest right now. But the area of rotation right now is over Town Lake. It's about to cross over Cypress and also the northwest freeway of Frontage Road, and then going over Jarvis Road in just a few minutes. And then it will be approaching Coles Crossing. All right, so it's going to go over Coles Crossing here in a few minutes. Any sort of tornado would likely become rain-wrapped here in the next few minutes as it goes to the northeast in the direction of Clean, Texas. This is our only active warning, by the way, right now. We do have a special weather statement further to the north. That storm has been struggling, though. I do anticipate that the severe weather coverage is only going to increase as we go throughout the afternoon hours. This is the very beginning stages of a possible tornado outbreak today. Again, we do have a tornado watch that is in effect anywhere in the pink, which includes a large chunk of Louisiana, also includes a large chunk of Texas, where the threat of tornadoes will be in play all afternoon long. A few tornadoes are going to be likely. All right, right there on the right side of your screen, that is once again the wall cloud. We still have an area of rotation there. It's still spinning. And again, we could see a tornado drop here at any moment as the storm continues to track to the northeast. That is a gnarly looking wall cloud right there. It's going to just barely pass to the west of this camera. We might have a view of a tornado if it does drop. They've had technical difficulties with this camera the entire time. All right, it's coming back to the middle now. So again, that's the wall cloud there on the left. You can see it rotating left to right. Let me try this real quick. All right, now we got the red on the background. Again, wall cloud's right there on the left side of your screen. It's right there in the middle. This is again in Cypress, Texas now. No tornado actively, but we could have one drop here at any moment as the storm continues to track to the northeast. There's a ton of rain falling as well. Very ominous skies. This is another live shot. This is just to the east of that camera. This is the FS01 camera. Again, both of these cameras are on Omega. This is the other one that is a little bit further to the east. You can see the very ominous skies coming in right now, as this storm is likely going to be producing a tornado really at any moment here as it continues to track to the northeast. Left side of your screen is that wall cloud. It is beginning to rain a little bit now. We'll have to watch closely now. Again, if we have a tornado, it's going to be getting wrapped in rain here very quickly. We do not have a debris signature right now, but if you look bottom right of your screen, if we have a tornado, it'll be crossing over Cypress, Texas, right over that freeway. See clouds rapidly moving right now. The latest scan is even more concerning. Look at that right there. Bottom right of your screen. Very strong area of rotation now. Again, this might be gearing up for a tornado at any moment here. It's going to start to get rain wrapped here over the next couple minutes. So if we have a tornado, it could literally just get fully rain wrapped. Were there power flashes? I did not see power flashes. If there were, then I was not looking. It's hard to tell, but there could be a tornado. Again, I did not see any power flashes, though, on my end. But we're very close to a tornado if there's not already one on the ground. If you look bottom right of your screen, this is the terminal radar site. That is a very tight couplet. That might be a tornado back there. It's hard to tell. But we may have a tornado right now down. This would be, again, near Cypress, Texas. It is very close to being on the ground, though. This is currently still radar indicated, but it is very close to dropping a tornado if there's not already one on the ground. Once again, this will be right over Cypress, Texas. If you're just tuning in, this is just northwest of Houston. It is just to the west of the George Bush Intercontinental Airport. It'll be actually approaching the David Wayne Hooks Memorial Airport here within the next 15 minutes. So you guys are in the path of this. Again, if we had a tornado, it'd be back there in the middle. This is another live shot just to the east of that camera. We are getting we have a little bit more of a clear view from this camera. This is over in Jersey Village, just west of Hudson. All right, so this is just a little bit further off to the east. The other one's starting to get really hard to see anything just due to all the rain that is currently falling. This camera is now just to the southeast of that area of rotation. But any tornado now, if there is a tornado, it's going to be fully rain wrapped. Again, that tornado could be back in there anywhere in the middle. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, it sounds like we are receiving chaser reports of a potential funnel on this tornado warning storm.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So there's at least a funnel cloud being reported right now on this dangerous supercell just to the northwest of Houston, Texas. Again, this is crossing right over the frontage road that is on the northwest freeway here, just to the northwest, once again, of Houston, Texas. Velocities are very strong right now. I am definitely growing concerned that a tornado is, I think, on the ground. I mean, if it's not on the ground, it's very close to it. We have a very tight couplet, once again, on the terminal radar site, and that is one indicator that we could have a tornado. And again, a strong tornado is definitely in play. We are seeing at least a very small area of CC, but I'm not going to say that's a tornado as of right now, but we are definitely close to having a tornado on the ground. So again, if you are in Coles Crossing, if you are in Lakewood Forest, the Corville area, you need to get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom. Again, there could be a strong tornado with this storm at any time as it moves to the northeast. We warned you guys about this in our forecast this morning. Any storm that was able to stay discreet today could produce the threat of a strong tornado. This one is definitely in play for that right now. All right, again, bottom left and bottom middle, those are both within the tornado warning, are very close to it. The bottom left one is the closest one. If we see any power flashes, that would be a pretty clear indicator that we do have a tornado down. We also have Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey, who is currently en route for this. They'll be here within about 20 minutes or so. They are going to be coming out of the east, and they'll be coming up on this storm here very, very shortly. Let me go back over to that terminal radar site. The latest regional radar site scan did not look as impressive, but it does look like, again, we are very close to having a tornado right now, right over near Coles Crossing. You can see the rotation again, very strong right now. That is right over Lewis Drive as well here in Cypress. The lightning's also been very crazy here over the last few minutes. That's a live look inside of the tornado warning here, again, just northwest of Houston. And then this is this camera is a little bit cleaner of a view. If we go over to slot 2, if it loads, there we go. This is FS101. This is the other camera. A decent amount of scud right there, but again, look at the lightning right there. There's a lot of cloud to ground lightning with this storm. Yeah, if we had a tornado again, it'd be right over the highway, coming up towards Longwood Village here in just a moment. All right, we'll go back to that in a second. We're going to keep them both bottom left and bottom middle of your screen. Latest radar scan still showing very strong rotation. That is right over near the Courtyard, Houston, northwest Cypress, by the way. So this about it. Possibly, if we have a tornado, it'll be coming right up on the hotel here near Houston Drive, also near Hot Wells Shooting Range, and also the Cisco Business Services area. And there's also a, I don't know what this is. There's a Sonic, there's a an HEB, there's also a Sky Nail Spa that are right next to a possible tornado. This is all within very close range right now, again, of a possible tornado right now. This is back to another live shot. This is, again, just to the southeast of that area of rotation. It's looking at the supercell, though. If we had a tornado, it'd be off to the left there. This is a skyline view of the storm right now. We do not actively have any CC drop, but we are, again, we're very close to having a tornado if we did not already have one. There were spotter reports of a funnel cloud just a few moments ago. This is the latest scan on the regional radar site, and it shows broader rotation. The terminal radar site, which is very close to this storm, still shows some pretty strong rotation. That is now crossing right over the highway. All right, latest scan, the rotation's gotten a little bit broader, right over now the Courtyard, Houston of Northwest and Cypress. Again, this is a live shot. This is a skyline view on this tornado-warned cell right now, as it continues to approach Coles Crossing. Very populated area once again. Let me get the exact population number, but we are definitely over 50,000, I'm pretty sure, inside of this tornado warning. Yeah, we got 300,000 people in this tornado warning, just to put it in perspective. 300,000 people are inside of this tornado warning. If you have any friends or family that are inside of this tornado warning right now, make sure that they're aware of it. Call them, text them, share the stream with them, get the word out there. Again, we'll be live here with commercial-free coverage here all afternoon long as there is a tornado threat. But again, this storm has a very crazy look to it right now. Again, huge mesocyclone, area of rotations back there on the left side of your screen. We still have a wall cloud. Does not look like there's an active tornado, but we've had a large lowering this entire time. I do believe at the minimum we did have a tornado there briefly just to the south of the highway, just south of Jarvis Road. I'm very confident that we at least had a tornado there briefly. The latest radar scan has a tight area of rotation still over the courtyard of Houston, Northwest, and Cypress. All right, let me go back to live radar here. This is the latest radar scan. Main area of rotation right now is just to the south of Coles Crossing, and this is currently coming up towards Lakewood Forest and then going towards Corville. This is Storm Chaser Tornado Pagey. They are currently coming up onto this storm here in just a moment. This is a live view from them. And also, if you guys did not notice, we have a brand new camera program here. All right, it's brand new. You might notice it. Now the names of chasers and cameras are in the bottom of your screen. I think it's way cleaner than before. Also, we can swap through cameras way easier than before. I'm about to show you guys something really crazy here in a second, but this is like a huge improvement over what we had before. All right, so this might knock your socks off, but I'm going to show you this. All right, this right here, we have upwards of 20 cameras that we can be looking at a given time. So it's kind of cool, but we basically have a new program here that we can look at all sorts of different cameras. We can stay kind of in the loop on what is happening every single place out there. All right, so you can see all the different cameras right now. We're gonna make this cleaner so you guys can actually see everything that is happening. It's very small boxes, but yeah, this is a huge improvement over before. And it'll be able to help us be able to see what's happening in real time with any storm that is happening. And you see bottom right of your screen again, it's a way cleaner. We're working on a lot of other stuff too, but it's a way cleaner look to everything. And also, if you didn't already notice as well, on the bottom of your screen, look at the chasers. They all have locations now. That was something that we've not had in at all. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that. So we now officially have locations of where any of our chasers are located. So John McKinney, he's near Corsicana, Texas. That's far north of here. It looks like there's actually a little bit of minor flooding. And then obviously Tornado Pagey, they are coming up on this storm right now, and they are located in Spring, Texas, which is just off to the northeast of where this storm is located. So pretty cool stuff. All right, here's back to that supercell again, just east of Cypress. This is still tornado warned. Again, huge wall cloud there in the middle of your screen. Rotation's gotten a little bit broader over the last few minutes. Look at this though right here. All right, I want to show you guys this because I think we're going to get a new tornado threat. We got a new area of rotation developing just south of Clean. This right here, that could be a tornado risk. All right, this area of rotation is a mesocyclone handoff, which means that this will likely end up being our new tornado risk. That is going towards Champion Forest and Spring. I'm giving you guys an early heads up if you're in Spring, Texas and Clean, because we have a new area of rotation developing. This one could be more significant. All right, so if you are in Spring, Texas, you need to be ready to go to your safe place. We'll probably get a tornado warning at any moment. Again, we got a wall cloud forming there on the right as well. That looks, I believe that right there on the right, that is your new wall cloud. So that is the new area of rotation. That is our mesocyclone handoff that has just happened. And again, this is the Radar Omega camera. You can watch it inside of the Radar Omega app at the top link in the description below. This is a live shot, though once again, just north of Jersey Village. This could be dropping a tornado within the next few minutes. I would expect a new tornado warning here at any moment for Champion Forest, Bammel, as well as Westfield. But that right there is clearly a wall cloud, and they are zooming in on it now because that is looking very, very suspicious. You can see it starting to yeah, it's rotating. Look at that. That might be very close to dropping a tornado. That is definitely rotating though right now. This is very close to dropping a tornado.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, this is a very important situation. If you have any friends or family in Harris or Montgomery County, you need to make sure that they are getting to their safe place if they are in this tornado warning. We now have a tornado on the ground. This is confirmed. This would be where we're watching for a tornado right now. All right, so this could be a strong tornado, assuming that this thing fully condenses. Going right now towards Spring, Texas. I think right there you can see a little bit of. I think it's touching the ground right there on the very bottom of your screen. It looks like it is touching just a little bit. It does not look strong yet, but we could have a strong tornado dropping with this. This is right now moving into Spring, Texas. All right, this is rapidly rotating right now. It is moving right towards Spring, the Woodlands, as well as Alden Bridge and the falls at Imperial Oaks. You need to seek shelter if you're in this warning, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. This is, again, rapidly rotating right now, heading right towards Spring, Texas. Again, we definitely have a chance of a strong tornado. There is no... again, there's no hatched area for tornadoes today. We do not have an enhanced risk, but that does not matter. Strong tornadoes can still happen. And again, this very easily could be a strong tornado as it continues to move to the northeast. If you look bottom right of your screen, you can actually see on the terminal radar site, look at that hook echo right there. So that's what we're looking at right now. This is the hook echo. That is the wall cloud that is rapidly rotating. And again, there is confirmation that this is a tornado that is in progress according to weather spotters. And this will be approaching, going right through Champions Forest here over the next couple minutes. It's going to be coming up on Candlelight Hills and then going towards Rutherwood. Rutherwood is going to be in the path of this, and then eventually going towards Spring, Texas. Look at the motion. This is, again, a live shot of that wall cloud right now near Corville. Velocities are bottom right of your screen. Very strong rotation right now. That is that mesocyclone handoff. We were warning of you this literally 6 or 7 minutes ago. We were telling you this just moments ago that this is likely going to become our next tornado, the next tornado threat. This is your mesocyclone handoff. It has fully happened. That old area of rotation is completely gone, by the way. So this is the new area of rotation, and this is really the only area of rotation that we are concerned about. And we have a large wall cloud that is now formed, and weather spotters did confirm a tornado that was on the ground. We do not think it is on the ground right now, but it is definitely trying to drop right now. It is a large rotating wall cloud coming up into Champion Forest, Texas right now. That is a small community in Corville. And just for perspective, this includes 815,000 people. All right, so there's over 800,000 people included in this tornado warning. So if you have any friends or family in this area, get the word out there, share the stream on Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform. Help get the word out there, because again, this is a life-threatening situation if we were to get a tornado here. In this environment, there's plenty of wind shear for a possibility of a strong tornado. Still have a large wall cloud. This is located over Loretta Road in Corville. This is also coming up on the Woodlands, once again, if you're just tuning in. Woodlands, Texas, you guys are in the path of this. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Mac. So the thing that we're looking at in terms of increased tornado potential is whether storms can latch on the boundary. Now, talking about this storm that's currently tornado warned, if you take a look at the data from the radar mega cyclone ports we have to the south, we actually have a 20-degree difference in dew points between about 5 miles. So what this is indicating is this storm is 100% latched onto the boundary that we have. And what that means is it's going to be able to produce a tornado for quite some time, as it's basically the perfect environment. There's no other convection in the way of this to sort of interfere with that, and it's going to continue to be a storm that could produce a tornado probably all night.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So yeah, that's an important detail here. This is right along and on the boundary, which does mean that this is essentially imminent for a tornado at this point. It is obviously a very favorable environment to begin with. Again, we do have a wall cloud still on the right side of your screen that has not gone away. The rotation's still strong enough to the point where a tornado could drop at any moment. Again, this is coming up on Rutherford right now. This is Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey, and Bryce Shelton, which will load in a second. Let me click the button again. Maybe we'll get them. Maybe we won't. Okay, the button's broken. Never mind. I'll try to do it again in a second. Oh, there we go. All right, so this is Tornado Pagey. They're coming up on this storm right now. They're located on the west side of Spring, Texas. They're only about 5 miles to the northeast of the rotation. So right there in the middle of your screen, that's the area that we'll be looking at. We'll go back to them in a second once they get a little bit closer. This is back over to the Houston, Texas camera. Again, this isn't technically located in Houston. This is more just off to the east of where the rotation is, located over near Jersey Village. Camera's doing a little spin around. We'll go back to that in a second. This is back over to Tornado Pagey inside of the tornado warning now. They are in Spring, Texas. And there are a lot of people on the roadways. That's a little key note here.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of people on the roadways right now. Which means that we have, obviously, there's over 800,000 people in this tornado warning. But if you are one of those people on the roadways, you need to be getting to a sturdy structure in case we do have a tornado at any moment.
Okay. Yeah, look at all those buildings there. It's a pretty good opening.
Apparently it's lagging. How is my stream always lagging now? Makes no sense. Is it my internet? Like, I don't know what it is. It's so weird.
I was gonna say that's likely abandoned right there. If that's easier. Some loud thunder.
Let me go back over to the live shot in the Houston, Texas live shot. So we're starting to get a little bit further away from that area of rotation. But right there in the middle of your screen, that is the large wall cloud. All right, so right there in the middle of your screen, that is the large wall cloud right there. On radar, it looks like we have a little CC drop right over Champion Forest Drive. So that could be the tornado right there. Again, I don't see anything on the ground from this vantage point, but at least a large wall cloud is continuing here just to the southwest of Spring, Texas. Yeah, that line could have been the chaser, by the way. They did have slightly lower quality. Hey, Brandon. Test. All right, my mic just came unplugged. Good though. Right there on the right, that could be a tornado. Is that the tornado? I think that's a tornado. Look at that. That's a huge tornado. We got a tornado on the ground for sure. Look at the tornado right there. So we got a tornado now on the ground. That's a tornado right there on the right. You can see the debris being kicked up right there. So tornadoes on the ground. This is over near Clean, Texas. All right, so this is down, moving to the northeast. This is, again, a tornado down. This is on the radar Omega Cyclone port, again, near Clean, Texas. Tornado down, moving towards Spring, Texas. You can see all that debris being lifted up right there on the right side of your screen. And if you're in this tornado warning, you need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom. We just had a tornado on the ground there for a second. There is a debris signature on radar for sure, right over Champion Forest Drive. All right, so over Champion Forest Drive, we do have a tornado down. It's still down right there on the right side of your screen. You can see that large little, like, kind of funnel. It's not fully condensed to the ground, but it is a on the ground. It is a tornado in progress that is going towards Rutherford right now. This is also located just outside of the David Wayne Hooks Memorial Airport. See the velocities bottom right of your screen as well. That is a very tight couplet. Tornado still down, though, on the right side of your screen. I think it is still down. It's not fully condensed, but it's on the right side there. There's over 800,000 people inside of this tornado warning, which makes it that much more concerning. And Tornado Pagey, they're very close to where this tornado will be located. They are still just barely northeast of this. They're waiting for it to come up towards them. We are starting to lose visual from the skyline view of the tornado, but we will continue to keep an eye on it as this storm continues to track to the northeast. But once again, this tornado is down over Clean, Texas. This is still in progress right now. All right, so this is still down. It is near Seven Pines Drive, and it's gonna be coming up towards Rutherwood, and then eventually going towards Spring Hills, Rayford, Grogan's Mill, Oak Ridge North, and also going towards Sleepy Hollow. All right, so all of those areas, you guys are currently in the path, again, of a tornado that is in progress. The velocity couplet is pretty tight right now, just east of the Champions Forest area now. All right, so this is continuing to move to the northeast. We do have a debris signature that has gotten larger over the last couple scans as well, so this is definitely still in progress. Debris is being lofted up, and it is moving right now towards Rutherford. So again, seek shelter if you are in this tornado warning. This is Tornado Pagey. They are only about 2 miles now northeast of where this is.
It was just a weak tornado. Did you?
And I think we just lost connection to them. We'll go back to them in a second. That bottom middle camera is still the one that's in clean. We go back over to the terminal radar site. This is the 1:48 p.m. radar scan. Again, we still think this tornado is down. I don't think that camera bottom middle is looking at the tornado where it would be located. It still looks like it's down. Velocities are still very tight right now.
Which it looks like it's doing right now.
They have just updated the tornado warning. It is still confirmed.
Right now, but that could change at any moment.
Weather spotters are still confirming a tornado again. We just had a view of it a moment ago. This is still in progress. The tornado right now is located over Clean, Texas. It is moving basically due north. It's going through a very populated community. Bending Pines Lane, Alvin Clean Drive are a few of the select locations near FM 2920 that are currently being impacted by, again, a tornado in progress. It is basically moving due north right now. It's likely occluding off to the northeast. You can see how it started. This is where the tornado began. It was just south of Clean, and it started to turn more to the north. So it's right now moving in a northerly direction. It's probably going to occlude off to the northwest here in just a moment. So it'll be moving more in the direction, actually, of the airport here. This is going to be moving right towards David Wayne Hooks Memorial Airport, which is pretty concerning. This is, again, a pretty populated area, but we also have an airport with airplanes there. If this tornado were to stay down, it would be impacting those areas. Latest radar scan still showing that tornado down. This is right near the Dory Road. It's coming up on Windrose Bend Drive, and then it'll be coming up on the Aldi and as well as Kroger and Spring Creek Barbecue near the Walmart Supercenter here in just a moment. So those are some of the areas that are in the direct path right now of this tornado that's about to cross right over FM 2920. And then again, it's gonna be going up towards the Avanac area and also going towards Grand Parkway westbound. So that is where this tornado is currently tracking. Again, this is still definitely down, in progress, just off to the northwest again of Houston, Texas, if you are just tuning in. Just a little heads up for anybody else wondering about storms right now. This is the main storm. This is the main supercell. It's already been producing multiple tornadoes here over the last hour or so, and it will likely continue to produce multiple tornadoes down the road. This is the main supercell right now. We do not have anything else that is of concern at this time. Obviously, that could change, but this is the main storm right now that is continuing to produce a tornado. And look at the debris signature. That is getting a little bit deeper now. The debris signature has gotten larger now, right over Clean. And it's going to be approaching, again, the Aldi near Rutherwood. And traffic is also pretty heavy. Again, Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton, they are located just east of the tornado, and obviously you can see the backup. It's not significant, but this is a high traffic area. There's a lot of people that live here. Again, we got over 800,000 people inside of this tornado warning in Spring, Texas, and also the Woodlands. Those are the two main population density centers here north of Houston. at least got a little shelf there. Here's the latest radar scan. If we still have a tornado, it's going to be on the ground right now over Windrose Bend Drive. It's going to be approaching the Aldi here in just a second and then crossing over FM 2920. Criminal Intermediate School is also in the path of this. I'm not sure. Does anybody know if that school's in progress right now? Like, I don't know if they're still in school. I know it's Thanksgiving break. It's Monday. Some schools get out Wednesday. Some schools are out for the entire week. If they are in school, hopefully they are hunkered down right now. Because again, we do have a tornado, we do believe, still down over Alvin Clean Drive, approaching Aldi. Okay, most people are saying schools are out, so that's good. But most schools are out this week. It varies by state. I know some people have school like through Wednesday too. Hey, Dragon, for the super chat. It's Klein. Oh, Klein, Texas. Got it. All right, thank you. This is again near Klein, Texas. That tornado is approaching the Aldi right now. It's going up towards that intermediate school. It's also near the Spring Creek Barbecue. And this is continuing to move to the northeast right now. The tornado itself is moving more due north. And also, we already alluded to this earlier. This right here could be a new mesocyclone handoff. So that tornado that's right now moving due north, that one's probably occluding right now. This right here is a new area of rotation that is beginning to form, and that's heading towards Spring, Texas, and the falls at Imperial Oaks. All right, it looks like Bryce and Tornado Pagey are now driving towards the tornado. The tornado's right now over near the Aldi right now. If we still have it on the ground, you can see bottom right of your screen. Still a pretty tight couplet. Be right off there to the left. They're driving towards the tornado right now, so be off to the left. They're driving westbound.
We're in Klein, Texas.
Latest radar scan, the rotation's gotten a little bit broader over FM 2920. They say Jersey Village. Jersey Village is not under any tornado warning. We have a camera in Jersey Village that was looking at the storm, though. And we'd be looking for the tornado off to the left here. They're right now on Spring Strubner Road, I think. Just west of Spring. I believe they're now turning left going towards FM 2920. Thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Aldine is Aldine. Thank you.
Seemed like before.
Are we under a watch all night? The tornado watch goes until 7 o'clock central, but they'll probably issue a new one later as well. All right, we'll go back to them in a second. This is a look at radar right now. This is our tornado watch. So again, the tornado watch is pretty large. It includes a very large area here, all the way into western parts of Louisiana, but pretty much all of southeast Texas. You guys are under this tornado watch. Beaumont is really the only exception. This again goes until 7 o'clock tonight. The wording that the Storm Prediction Center used is that a few tornadoes are likely. So a few tornadoes are likely. That is pretty strong wording. Nowadays, we don't usually have, or at least over the last few months, we really haven't had wording like that. So, yeah. Also, in case you're just tuning in, this was a look at the tornado just from a little bit ago. This is when it first dropped. That right there was the tornado back over northwest of Houston. That was the initial tornado. And again, I do not think it's on the ground anymore. I've not seen any evidence of that. But that is what it looked like when we had a tornado. So a pretty clean view of this storm. But yeah, I mean, that right there was the tornado. It wasn't fully condensed really at any point. Maybe just briefly it was condensed. Yeah. All right. Let me go back over to tornado page. We'll go back to them and see if they have anything. That's looking right in the direction of where the tornado will be located. That looks interesting. It looks like a funnel right there. Might be the remnants of what we just had with the tornado. I don't think this is going to drop again, but if there's anything up there like a funnel cloud, it's probably going back into the storm. It's probably just going to kind of weaken out. Actually, no. Okay, what I'm going to say is they're moving back to the east, I believe. So I believe they're going back east. And what they were just looking at is going to be that mesocyclone handoff. So we had this happen with this storm just a moment ago when we had that new tornado. And so what is basically happening is that we had an area of rotation where our tornado happened, which is this right here, that went right through Colleen. That is now moving to the north, right? And that is weakened. That is our initial area of rotation. We now have a new area of rotation that's going to try to develop here on the eastern side of the supercell, where it should be developing, back over here near Spring, Texas. All right, so that is basically now what we're waiting for. We could have another tornado drop with this. That's what just happened over the last 20 minutes. We had a mesocyclone handoff. I'm going to go back in time a little bit here as well so you guys can see that in real time. So this is when we initially had a tornado. It was over Town Lake near Cyprus. That's when we had our first tornado. That occluded, and look how this developed. It's the same supercell, right? And this ended up dropping a tornado, at least for a few minutes, going through Colleen. And so now what's going to happen, we think, is that we're going to probably see another mesocyclone handoff if the storm can stay organized enough, and it could try to drop another tornado as it moves towards Splendora, Roman Forest, and North Cleveland. So that is a new area of rotation that might try to develop. We also have a small storm south of Houston that looks a little interesting. This one is currently not warned for anything. It is a new storm that has just popped up. But we do have a very broad area of rotation that might be trying to develop near Brookside Village, just west of Pearland. So this is something that we'll be keeping an eye on in case anything, you know, actually develops out of this. And what is John McKinney looking at? This is Storm Chaser John McKinney. He is nowhere near this storm. Instead, he's actually near Fairfield, Texas. This is a storm that we really can't see well on radar. This is inside of the tornado watch, but it is way further off to the northeast. It's right along the cold front, actually, and we could even see an isolated tornado along the cold front, so this is interesting. This is all the way back up on I-35 east, just north of Buffalo. And so you can see in bottom right of your screen. Not really a whole lot of rotation, at least what you would think, but this is the cold frontal boundary, so there's a possibility that we could get something that spins up here. That's pretty interesting. Let's go back over to Tornado Pagey. They're actually at a stoplight, but we'll go back to them in a second. They were just looking at this storm that is tornado warned, but we'll go back to them in a moment. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, so it sounds like from the latest Storm Prediction Center update that they do think the tornado threat is going to continue with both our prefrontals and the storms along the cold front. So the ones along the cold front, like you just said, those are the ones that John McKinney is looking at, and the other ones are the ones that Tornado Pagey is closer to. They think the reason that they're struggling a little bit in terms of intensity is because of the wind shear in place. So the wind shear is a little bit weaker than what storms would have to produce a tornado in ideal conditions. So I think that's sort of what's helping our storms from sort of just tour spamming and producing a lot more tornadoes. So of course that is a good thing, but it will be something to track over the next couple of hours as we get closer to the sus hour, which is when the wind shear kicks up as the sun goes down. That would mean that we could see more tornadoes happen relatively quickly.
Hey Riley for the update. Yes, sus hour. That is coming up here in just a few hours. All right, let me go ahead and do this. We are back down to a radar indicated tornado warning. It is no longer in progress. However, we still have a tornado warning again for Spring, Texas. So continue to stay in your safe place in Spring. Most of the woodlands, you guys are not really included in this unless you're on the east side of the woodlands near Shenandoah or Oak Ridge North or Grogan's Mill. Those are the only areas that are still actively inside of our tornado warning. But the woodlands has basically been removed from it because of the area of rotation that has been occluding has now completely weakened over the woodlands. This was the initial area of rotation that ended up dropping to the tornado not too long ago. But new area of rotation will probably develop here soon near Spring, Texas. Again, I'm not seeing anything too concerning yet, but this is the area that we need to keep an eye on. It's a very broad area right now, but that is the mesocyclone handoff. And as it continues to move to the northeast towards the falls at Imperial Oaks, there is a possibility that this could try to drop a tornado. All right, while we're waiting for this storm to recycle, again, we only have one tornado warning right now, but in case you're just tuning in, I did point this out near the beginning. We have a brand new little camera program here. So we have 20 different chasers currently, or cameras that we can look at. We have 16 on here right now, but we can have up to 20. So I just kind of thought it'd be cool. This is a brand new thing that we've been working on. And it is a in-house program that we've made that will be able to help us with live streams, being able to show you guys what's happening in real time with all different views across the board, all sorts of different cameras on here, like radar Omega cameras, and you know, we got some railway cameras too, a bunch of other stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Again, it gives you an idea of everything that we are looking at across the board in terms of chasers and stuff. So pretty cool thing that we've been working on.
Are they?
Back over to Tornado Pagey. They are inside of the tornado warning here near or in Spring, Texas. They are located in Spring. What software is that? It's a software we made in-house. We have a team of developers that are working on all sorts of cool projects. We got another really cool project coming too. You guys want a preview to another project that we're working on? I can give you guys another preview to another project that we're working on here in a second. All right, here's another project that we're currently working on. This one I think is the coolest thing that we've been working on. This is a website that we're working on that you can basically submit your own image, video reports, and also a text report. So essentially, this isn't out yet, but it will be out here pretty soon. You can basically go to a website. It'll probably be on our Max Velocity website, where you can do a text report. So you can report a tornado, wind, hail, all that sort of stuff. And it'll help us be able to figure out what's going on in real time. In addition to that, you can put videos and photos on here. Because obviously a big problem that we've had over the last several months, really the last couple years, is that we have an issue where people send us photos and videos on all sorts of platforms, like Twitter, Instagram, etc., like all sorts of places. And it can get very confusing. Like we don't know where they are located or, you know, whatever. Like it can be hard to verify everything. So it'll make it much easier to be able to have that, because we'll be able to basically just, you know, go to one place and be able to see everything that's being reported, relayed, whatever it might be. So it's a cool little project that we're working on, and it'll hopefully be out later. I think it'll be out like later this week. We're not far from it being done, so might even be testable by later this week as well. All right, let's go back over to Tornado Pagey. They are still on this tornado warning cell here near Spring, Texas. This is a look at the storm right now. Very scuddy. I'm not seeing anything too significant right now, but this is the storm here.
It's crazy because, I mean, it's in 70s dew points.
All right. Thank you, Army, for the $10 super chat. That deserves another donation. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support.
That looks like another one is starting to form.
Thank you also, Jim, for the becoming a maximum velocity member.
No lightning on it, though.
Did Max have his cheese curds? I did not. I have not had cheese curds in a while, believe it or not. It's been a fat minute since I've actually had cheese curds. All right, this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. This storm is starting to weaken. We haven't had a whole lot of anything. The mesocyclone handoff looks like it's kind of failed. This storm's actually been weakening entirely. The cloud heights have been dropping significantly on this. If we go over to echo tops, you can see the cloud heights have dropped from upwards of 30, 40, 50,000 feet. I mean, at one point it was at 50,000 feet when there was a tornado. It's dropped all the way down to 30,000 feet. So it's a much smaller supercell. However, there is a supercell that is trying to go up south of Houston that is towering up to about 40,000 feet. This one may be a little bit more concerning. It has not really organized yet, but we have very weak rotation over near Minitex that is going to go right through the southeast side of Houston here pretty soon, and then it will eventually approach Galena Park, Channelview, Deer Park, and Pasadena. So this will be the next storm to watch for. Very weak rotation once again right now, but that will be moving off to the northeast, and that could be our next concern. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that storm. This one has been losing its intensity quite a bit. Still got low clouds off to the left, but I haven't really seen anything on radar that hints that we're about to have a tornado on this. If we were, it might take a little bit of time. The rotation right now, bottom right of your screen over Spring Hills, is pretty broad and pretty weak. The left side would be the area of interest. The tornado warning does continue for the next 20 minutes unless they cancel the tornado warning here north of Houston. Thank you, Emily. I'll fix that later. By the way, if you guys do have any photos or videos, you can always at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Right there on the left is really the remnants of that area of rotation. Still very weak rotation, it's just low clouds right now, more than anything. By the way, this is from not too long ago. This was from that radar Omega cyclone port, when just before we had a tornado drop back over here northwest of Houston. That was the huge wall cloud that we had. It was kind of crazy to watch this in real time. Again, we had the camera up pretty much the entire time. We had that initial wall cloud. This was the initial tornado that we had that was going to the north. This is our new wall cloud that formed that was going to the northeast, and this is our mesocyclone handoff. But really kind of a crazy sequence of events here northwest of Houston here over the last 30, 45 minutes. Waiting for the day Max is sponsored by Culver's. It better happen soon. It needs to happen at some point. So what it looks like on radar right now. Again, we do have very weak rotation here. The falls at Imperial Oaks. Not sure if they're going to issue a tornado warning on this, or a new tornado warning on this with how weak the rotation's been. One other thing that I was alluding to not too long ago, the storm that John McKinney was near, there was some very weak rotation near Fairfield. We could definitely see an isolated tornado threat develop right along the cold frontal boundary. So that is something else they'll have to be keeping an eye on as it continues to move to the east. But again, our setup today is that we got a big line of thunderstorms back off to the west. That is where our cold frontal boundary is. And we have some of these discrete supercells that are out in front of the line. And these are what are going to be producing the potential for tornadoes more than anything this afternoon. It's a more significant tornado threat if anything can stay discrete. And so we do have a few discrete supercells out there right now that are not very organized, but we obviously have the one near Houston and then that one near Spring. Those are the main two storms that will have any sort of capability of producing a tornado today. Outside of that, the threat is going to be a little bit lower further back off to the west. Also, we do have a brand new storm chaser inside of the Radar Omega app. That is CJ Ziegler, who is now inside of the Radar Omega app. He's also chasing out there today. We have 4 different chasers inside of the app today. Again, you can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. And we right now have Tornado Pagey located inside of the tornado warning, Vince, and a few others. So a lot more chasers are being added to the app as well, so it's a growing network right now. Thank you, Matthew, for the 18 months. Thanks for the coverage. Hope you all stay safe. Appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully the weather behaves itself from here, but we don't know that for sure. Obviously, today's threat of severe weather is a long threat. This is not it. I know we only have one warning, but we have a long day ahead. We have a 5% tornado risk that encompasses literally almost all of East Texas, a large chunk of Louisiana, and western Mississippi. This threat is going to go from now all the way through probably about 4 in the morning. It is a very long threat of severe weather, and there is a possibility that we could have multiple segments, essentially, of severe weather here throughout the daytime today. So this is not going to be a short-lived threat of severe weather. This is going to be going all day today. We have a large 5% in place, and then a 2% tornado risk that actually goes all the way into western Alabama near Tuscaloosa. Another thing I want to point out, we do have a new upgrade. Tomorrow's threat of severe weather was upgraded as well. We have another 5% tornado risk in place that does include Alabama and Mississippi, where a few tornadoes are possible, and then a 2% that goes into Tennessee, Georgia, parts of Florida, Louisiana, and again, a large chunk basically of Alabama, including Huntsville and Dothan. So if you're in any of this area, make sure that you're staying weather aware. Again, this is a big threat that we are talking about both today and tomorrow. And here's the general severe weather outline. So again, a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather, including most of Louisiana, most of Mississippi, or a good chunk of Mississippi, and also East Texas. That does include Houston as well. How far north into East Texas is the high risk? There's no high risk, but the highest it goes, or the farthest north it goes, is basically Lone Star and Texarkana. Does not include anywhere in Dallas-Fort Worth. DFW did have some strong storms roll through this morning, but outside of that, we're basically done there. Cold front has now moved through, which is good news. Our only area of concern right now in like areas near North Texas would be this line of thunderstorms that is currently pushing through areas like Palestine and as well as Tyler. Also, we no longer have any warnings. The only tornado warning that we had is now officially over. So we have actually no warnings right now. It's a very rare situation. This has only happened like maybe 3 times I've ever streamed where we have absolutely no warnings in terms of severe warnings or tornado warnings. And so we are back to having 0 warnings, which is kind of surprising. Very rare situation. I do want to go through the future radar here real quick. Time to grab a drink. Yes, it's time to grab a soda. Not that kind of drink, but maybe a soda. At least time to relax for a few minutes. Oh, I was pretty tense there for a few minutes. We obviously had a probably, I don't know if it was a strong tornado. It was not clear as day in terms of like a strong tornado, but we at least had a tornado. That's what the future radar looks like for the rest of today. So basically, we're going to continue to see multiple discrete cells try to form here in Southeast Texas over the next few hours. This picture here is 3 o'clock. HRRR has a decent amount of storms here. Let me just zoom into Southeast Texas here. So you can see by about 3, 4 o'clock. Looks like it's going to be pretty active here for the next several hours. We have a little lull for right now, but tornado threat will likely increase again as we go later into this afternoon, and then by the evening hours, we'll have a line of thunderstorms rolling right through Houston, the Woodlands, and going towards Beaumont. By that point, the line of thunderstorms will be more of a wind concern rather than a tornado concern, but we could still get a couple tornadoes embedded in the line. And then our threat of severe weather will shift into areas like Louisiana as we go into the evening tonight. Anything that can stay discreet out in front of our line near these confluence bands will be able to produce the possibility of a tornado. Still could see a strong tornado as well. We'll have to wait and see. But and generally speaking, this threat of severe weather is going to be all day and possibly even into the nighttime tonight. It's going to be a pretty long threat of severe weather. And then across the Dixie Alley tomorrow. Tomorrow, honestly, doesn't look that impressive to me, but we're going to have very small little low-top supercells, and this will be probably peaking during the late afternoon where a few tornadoes are going to be on the table. So definitely stay weather aware. Our significant tornado parameter values tomorrow aren't that high, but tomorrow's environment is pretty good. It's just the storms are going to be very small in nature. They're going to be very low tops, which means maybe 30, 35,000 foot cloud tops, and that'd be really about it. Today is different, though. These are your significant tornado parameter values for today. Upwards of 4 by as late as 8 to 9 o'clock tonight. And we could even have a little outbreak in Louisiana tonight if we're able to get enough discrete cells. So this is definitely going to be a long-term threat of severe weather, even though we're in a little bit of a lull right now. Might not be in a lull for much longer, though. I mean, this storm right now outside of Houston definitely is catching my attention. It's not really rotating much right now, but it is definitely discrete. Very, very weak velocities. This is located right over the William P. Hobby Airport in Houston. As HOU Airport. Got a little hook on that. That's near the University of Houston right now. So this storm might look interesting. This is currently tracking to the northeast, heading towards Channel View. Let's see if we have any. This is actually from a little while ago, but this is also a view of that tornado that was on the ground. This is one of the traffic cameras back over on the north side of Houston. This is when we had a tornado on the ground. Look at all the traffic here on state SH 249. Over 800,000 people were inside of the tornado warning when this happened. Having a highly populated area like this under a tornado warning can definitely be a concern. And this is another look at it on the Houston TransStar camera. Very clear funnel cloud. I think this was a non-condensed tornado at the moment that this happened. Here's also a time lapse of this storm when it rolled through. This is when you see, this is actually cool because you can see this was the initial wall cloud. That was where our initial tornado was, and then this was our mesocyclone handoff. That was a new wall cloud forming. So it's kind of cool that you can see this all happening in real time. That's crazy. The very end of this time lapse, you can see the tornado too. That rapid rotation. I just said I saw the tornado from my house. It was 1 mile from my home. It sounded like a jet, but it was incredible structure. Yeah. That's usually what a tornado would sound like, especially the tornado that we just had. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, have an update on the damage from that tornado. It sounds like there are a lot of trees that are down across basically the entire tornado warning. Some of those are on houses. There were scanner reports of a tree damaging a gas line as well. Sounds like we're going to be seeing a lot of roads closed in the areas where that damage is. There's been a lot of reports of generalized roof damage as well, but it doesn't sound like any of that was major structural damage. So definitely did have a tornado, definitely did do some damage, but for the most part, it sounds like it was pretty low end.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. This is a crazy video from Grayson Moore on Twitter of the tornado. From, again, just a little while ago. This is from Houston, north side of Houston, near Lowetta Road and Jones Road. This is a really crazy view, but this is a close-up shot. It's crazy that even sometimes normal residents can get videos even closer than storm chasers. It happens sometimes, especially in populated areas like this. Like, you know, there are people that are working, which I don't know where this is. It might be like a work building or something, but like this is a much closer view of this tornado. I mean, that's just crazy. This is a minute and 50 seconds. So I'm guessing the tornado was at least visible for a minute, but this is a crazy video of it. There is audio, but there's really not much being said. You can actually see the debris. Look at that. That's the debris being lifted up. So you got a little bit of debris is being lofted. A fully condensed tornado. Look at the debris going right up there in the middle. And once again, this is not live. This is about 20 minutes ago or so. And that's when it was likely lifting, but still condensed there for a moment. So that's a minute and 50 seconds for a video here. That's pretty crazy. All right, back to our storm near Houston, Texas. Again, we're not really seeing a whole lot of rotation right now, but this would be really our next concern near Harrisburg, heading in the direction of Channel View and Deer Park. This is just to the north of the Houston William P. Hobby Airport. It's near Gulf Crest. Again, not really seeing much rotation right now, but that would be our next storm to watch for. The one that did produce the tornado is completely fallen apart. Believe it or not, there is a very small little cell right now still over Spring, Texas. That has very, very weak rotation, so there might be a little lowering there. You might see some sort of scud or something like that if you're over in Spring, but that is not of concern. It is a weakening storm right now. Back off to the north near Buffalo and Jewett, back over in kind of central East Texas, southeast of DFW. We have a line of thunderstorms right along the cold front that is pushing southeast. These are mostly just strong storms. John McKinney, bottom right of your screen, is right now inside of this area of storms right now near Buffalo, and he is continuing to drive through some very heavy rain, but there is very weak rotation along the leading edge of this line, and I would not rule out a tornado with this area of storms at some point down the road as it continues to track to the east very slowly. But overall, the tornado threat is going to be the highest with anything that's discrete here in southeastern Texas. So the judge just said, "Hey Max, I'm going to the University of Oklahoma for meteorology next year because of you." That's a W. Good luck. A lot of math, a lot of science. This is another video, another cool video from this tornado. This is from Boppy on Twitter. This is like a time lapse, I think. Yeah, this is a time lapse of like that little swirl. Let me get the, I don't know if there's a location on this, but this is right over it. Oh, here's another one. This is actually in Killeen, Texas. This is right as it was coming up towards this person's house. That is kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. That right there, it's not like a tornado, but that right there is the wall cloud, the area of rotation, probably a funnel or something like that. It's hard to tell from this angle, but this might have been the remnants of the tornado that we had, so probably the ending of it. And yeah, that was literally coming up towards this person's house. That's a scary view, looking right out your window, and you see a big spinning cloud structure right outside your house. Which again, that was the tornado. With that said, though, I would never be recording from the second floor of your house, or even in general in your house, a storm. It's just not a good idea. Especially if we had a strong tornado, which again, that storm had the capability of producing a strong tornado in this environment. So it's definitely not a good idea to have your camera out the window trying to look at a storm. I know some people are brave enough to do so, but it is not a good idea, because if we had any flying debris at all that was outside of the vortex, that area, like the condensed area, it could easily fly into your window. Because if you think about it, like a tornado can look like this outside your house. And this is you with your little phone in your window. All right, so we're gonna pretend this is a window here. This is your house. All right, so you're looking outside, that's the window. We can still have debris that goes flying out from that vortex. It can fly right into your window. That could be anything. It could be glass, it could be part of a car, like you don't know, right? So it's a good idea to not be near a window. This is why we always say when you're in a tornado warning, get to your storm shelter, your basement, your closet, your bathroom, whatever's interior, away from, you know, windows, because if there's any flying debris, it can go right through and into your house. And then he's sad. But yeah. I think TikTok and all these platforms have changed how people perceive things now. Because, like, if you see a video like that guy of, you know, looking outside his window and you get a crazy shot of a tornado and you get all these views on social media, then it's like, oh, I have to do the same thing. You should not be. Like, I don't know why some people are crazy enough to do that. It's not a good idea. New t-shirt design? It is not a new t-shirt design. This is another video also from the northwest side of Houston. If you have any photos or videos, you can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. You actually can see at the very end of this the debris being lofted up. And this is what I was exactly talking about. Again, debris can go flying into the sky, and it can go shooting out miles away from where the tornado actually is, which is why you should never be against a window looking outside with your iPhone 16 and your bucket of popcorn and trying to record this, because that is just a terrible idea. You can see all the debris at the very end being lofted up. You can see multiple different things. It's hard to tell what it is, but there's at least some sort of debris. It could be literally anything. Not the debris. Oh my lord, not the debris. Hey, Ben Williams, he's gonna be coming back to chasing here soon. He's the one that made the debris thing a reality. Here's another video. I think. Maybe not. All right, we do have a video, another video of the tornado from earlier. This is from Eric. That's another view of the tornado, right beyond the tree line. Will there be any threat for Alabama and Mississippi tonight? Mississippi, yes. Western Alabama, yes. There is a tornado threat tonight. Yeah, this is our severe weather threat for tonight. Our 5% tornado risk goes from East Texas back into Western Mississippi. It's a huge area that's under the gun for severe weather today. Again, all hazards are on the table, including damaging winds, hail, and the possibility of a few tornadoes. So we have a bunch of different threats on the board here today, but the greatest concern is going to likely reside between 3 and 9 o'clock, and mainly around the sus hour, which is right around sunset. That's when the threat of severe weather will likely end up peaking today. The threat is nowhere near over, though. I know it might seem like it right now because we have no warnings, but the threat will definitely ramp up here within the next few hours. The only storm that I'm looking at that has any concern in the short term would be near Houston, which it's not really doing much right now, but if this storm were to organize anymore as it moves towards Crosby and Old River wind-free, we could see a tornado risk come out of this, but for right now, it's definitely it's not very organized, and the rotation's been pretty weak so far. That could obviously change. And then back over where John McKinney is, near Jewett, Texas, and Buffalo. We've seen some very broad rotation on the leading line of this thunderstorm just outside of Buffalo, northwest of Centerville. So tornado threat's definitely possible with this line as well, but so far it's been pretty chill. This is pretty cool, by the way. We have Storm Chaser Connor Croft, actually Brandon Payne. He has a drone now. So they are now operating with a drone on their live streams. You can also watch Connor Croft on YouTube, but he has a drone now. So we have now a new person with a drone. I believe CJ Ziegler, who's another chaser, has a drone as well. But whenever we have a significant storm, it'd be much easier to see even more with a drone shot like this. So yeah, pretty cool. Shout out to Sharon with the super chat. Waiting for snow in Saskatchewan. We got snow coming. Hey, we do have snow coming. And guys, we have a really active weather pattern coming too. I mean, if you haven't already looked at like what's coming up, if you haven't been watching my videos the last few days, it's about to get really active really quickly. We have a winter storm that's going to be moving through the northern plains and the upper Midwest over the next couple of days, right before Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, if you have any Thanksgiving travel plans, they could be hindered by that. Thursday and Friday, lake effect snow is going to absolutely hammer Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday could get kind of crazy. We could have a big storm that forms here all across the Great Plains in the Midwest with maybe some severe weather, some snow, a bunch of other stuff. And we could have repeated storm shots during the first few days of December. The European model is a little bit different from that. It still shows, you know, the big storm over the next few days, but it also shows this storm system coming up this weekend being a little bit faster and coming in a little bit faster. It actually comes in more on Saturday and then kind of moves to the east on Sunday. It's a much quicker moving storm system, but a potential winter storm for the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, severe weather across the deep south. It's going to get really active, though, really quickly. And then on top of that, it's going to get very cold. Very, very, very cold. Especially in the northern plains and the upper Midwest during the first few days of December. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, a quick update on that storm that is east of Houston right now. It is actually starting to grow relatively quickly. Our vertical growth height right now is about 3.3%. Per minute. So that means every minute this storm's growing by 3.3%. And it does actually look it looks like it has a really strong updraft on differential reflectivity as well. So we're kind of in a lull here just because we don't have any robust convection, but it does look like this storm is trying to get its act together. If it did try to produce a tornado, it's going to be a little bit now, or a little bit from now still. I would expect it to happen somewhere around Crosby, Texas, once we see it grow just a little bit taller, a little bit stronger, and sort of start to turn off to the right. So if you're anywhere near Sheldon or Crosby or Dayton, Texas, know that there is a storm that could potentially become tornadic over the next couple of hours.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So yeah, this is really the main storm to watch for right now. East of Houston, it's going to be basically tracking right up towards Sheldon, right along Crosby Freeway, heading up towards Dayton, Liberty, and as well as Devers. So this is the next storm to watch for. That storm that was responsible for producing 3 different tornadoes that has fully fallen apart now off to the north of North Cleveland. Also, we have a new video that's also from that tornado earlier, back over northwest of Houston. This was apparently the wife of this person at their job. Listen to the audio here, and look at the rotation. This is a pretty crazy video, really close up too. Look at that rotation. This is a very close-up shot of it.
Everything else is spinning around it.
And again, I do not recommend being outside like this while a tornado is forming. But this is at least giving an idea of what happened earlier. By the way, the person that just emailed me about a mailing address, we do have a mailing address for fan mail in the description. Have the maps got more detailed, or is it just because it's a mostly populated area? They Radar Omega map style is a little bit different now. We're working on a new one that'll be for the gray presentation mode inside of the app. That'll have a better look at cities and stuff like that. It'll look a lot cleaner here soon. But Omega's doing a bunch of updates right now, and they're working on a new map style for us. Yeah, that's a video of the rapid rotation there again, northwest of Houston. Really crazy video there. Yeah, this map's a little bit different, but I don't mind it. I mean, I think we're gonna make it so like the cities are a bit bolder, a little bit bigger as well, so they're more readable for you guys. They're a little bit small in my opinion, but we're working on it. The big things are coming. All right, let's do that. Latest couple scans. We're starting to see very, very weak rotation now, just south or just east of Houston. Let's go towards Channel View. We have Storm Chaser, Tornado Pagey, and also Vince that are currently en route for this storm that is currently tracking to the northeast right now towards Channel View. And this would be the next storm to watch for. No warning, nothing like that as of right now, but that is the storm of concern here in the long term. That'll be going right up Crosby Freeway, moving to the northeast. So if you are in the track of this, just get ready to go to your safe place. Have that tornado action plan ready to go. The cloud tops in the storm right now are towering upwards of 43,000 feet. Keep in mind our tornadic supercell earlier, that was back over near Spring, Texas, at its peak was right around 50,000 feet. So this is definitely towering very quickly. A good view of the Mezzo east of Houston, traffic cam, I-10 Freeport camera, 1018. Can somebody look for that camera? Let me see if I can get it up here. Let's go to our handy dandy camera map. I'm gonna do this on a different monitor. There might be a view of the mezzo though. Oh yeah, here we go. That's a view. That's what the storm looks like right now. Yeah, this thing's definitely cranking. We do have a wall cloud that's trying to form actively. So again, this is back over. This is the storm east of Houston. So we might have a new tornado threat developing as we speak. So this is located on I-10 East at Freeport. This is a stationary camera. It doesn't have video. It has photos. But that was about 6 minutes ago. I don't know if there's any other view. Yeah, this is another view just moments ago. Very ominous skies. Very dark skies from the Market Street exit view. Trying to see if there's any other views here. I think that was like the main one. This is the latest shot. This camera just updated, so right side of your screen there. Got a little wall cloud trying to form. This storm's definitely trying to organize. It's gonna take maybe a little bit of time, but it's definitely trying. And that is located just east of Houston. We have no warning on this right now. Cloud tops are towering up to about 44,000 feet. A very, very weak rotation. It is not tornadic right now, but it's definitely on path to become tornadic in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Heading towards Channel View, it's going to be coming up on Gilbert Landing and Lynchburg, excuse me. It's moving to the east-northeast. We don't have any other storms right now that look very tornadic or really concerning as of right now. We have multiple storms out there across east-central Texas, including the Buffalo area. The storm near Buffalo, Texas might be a little bit contaminated, but it looks very interesting, I gotta say. That is right along the line east of Jewett. I'm not sure if that is just contaminated or not, but there might be rotation developing there. This is right back where John McKinney was located. John had a view of at least a little lowering earlier. That is going to be tracking towards Elkhart. It's kind of going into a rural area. It's north of Centerville, but that might be something to watch for in the near term. Heading east-northeast. We also got a couple storms off to the southwest of Lufkin, but none of those are really concerning. They're kind of just splitting. Not really right-moving supercells. They're more of a left-moving supercell action, so nothing really too concerning there. But again, the storm that is east of Houston definitely has my attention right now. Still very weak rotation, but this is going to be the one to watch for. Tornado Pagey, bottom left of your screen, has a view at least the outskirts of the storm from the north. Hey, Sophia, for the super chat. What can we expect in Pasadena, Texas throughout the afternoon and evening? I think the threat of severe weather for Pasadena is going to be lower at this point. It's definitely not zero, but it will continue through at least 8 o'clock tonight with a line of thunderstorms later today. So again, we have multiple discrete supercells out there right now, and then we'll have a line of thunderstorms that'll roll through tonight with a possibility for a tornado risk. This is a live shot from Tornado Pagey. If my stream deck will load. My stream deck has been very slow today. This is Tornado Pagey's view from the north of this supercell right now. So this is just to the north of Houston. They're currently on Grand Parkway southbound. So that is a view from the north. Very high clouds. This is just the overshooting cloud tops that are spreading across the sky right now.
It does have a bunch of new lightning.
Tornado Page is on the Grand Parkway. She's about to pay $20 in tolls. Are tolls really that expensive on the parkway? I have to get a new mic plug. My mic is unplugged now twice. All right, it's good now. But yeah, that's crazy. $20 in tolls is wild. Even when even in Florida, like I live in Florida, I've taken the Florida Turnpike before, and that's like crazy to begin with. I don't know how much it is, but I'm pretty sure it's like 10, 20 bucks every like 100 miles. It's just insane how many toll roads there are out there. It's quite literally crazy. Let's say live shot back over on the northwest side of Houston, Texas. This is funny enough where we did have our tornado earlier, and we do have a small little storm off to the north. It's very elevated. It's very small as well. You can see it bottom right of your screen. It's not really even a storm. It's just a shower, but ominous skies once again near Clean, Texas and Spring, Texas. This is where we had our tornado earlier. Latest radar scan starting to show a little bit more reds now, so the rain's getting a little bit heavier. Might have to issue a rain warning. Anything for DFW? Not really expecting much for DFW today. DFW's already passed the cold front. Believe it or not, Canada actually has rainfall warnings. The United States does not. And I don't know why we would. Latest radar scan, not showing much rotation right now. Still got a hook echo. Let me go back over to the echo tops. The latest scan is showing the storm now back down to 41,000 feet for a peak cloud height. So it's got a little bit smaller here over the last few minutes. We'll see how it maintains itself. But this really is going to be the main supercell here that has any threat of producing a tornado here over the next really 20, 30 minutes outside of our line of storms. Again, the line near Buffalo had a little interesting area of rotation that's tracking towards Elkhart, Texas. That one, again, could get warned at some point. But as of now, again, no severe warnings. We only have one special weather statement that's all the way back over to the west of Shreveport, Texas. That is producing some gusty winds and very small hail. What radar on your computer do you use? I'm using Radar Omega. You can download it with the top link in the description below as well. This is the Radar Omega app. By the way, I haven't said this at all, but I am actually slightly sick. Been sick for like the last 5 or 6 days. It's not very noticeable, but I'm like slightly congested. I've had a cold, so if my voice just cracks randomly, that is literally why. But my voice is fine. It's just whatever reason, I got like one of the weakest colds I think I've ever had. This is a look at our VWP out of Houston, showing a pretty favorable environment right now of a tornado threat. This is basically a hodograph is what we're looking at. And basically what it shows us is the wind's changing directions as we go aloft. And whenever we get a curved hodograph like this, that does mean that we have plenty of wind shear. This is the direction it needs to be turning. It basically has to turn off to the northeast like that. So whenever we get a hodograph curved like this, or curved like this, like those are more favorable hodographs to see tornadoes. And the winds are pretty strong all across the board, which is going to help to make sure that our tornado threat is a little bit more elevated here with any discrete supercells that we have. Granted, most of the storms are very small, but we need the ones that get closer to 45, 50,000 feet. Those are going to be the ones that actually produce the threat of a tornado. And this is our right mover storm direction. So basically any storm right now is moving east, northeast, or maybe just slightly more northeast. And then left moving storms, which we've had a few of these, they're moving more in the northeast direction, kind of north-northeast. What that basically means, if we go over to radar here, this storm is definitely tracking to the east-northeast. That is our right mover, which any right-moving supercells that we have, those tend to be the ones that are tornadic. And then left-moving storms, those are basically splitting storms like this one near Montgomery. These usually weaken or occlude, and they're mostly just elevated hailstorms. So I have a new update out of Phoenix, Arizona. This is from the National Weather Service of Phoenix. There was an EF-0 tornado on the 18th. That was about a week ago. Not very common that you see tornadoes happen back over in Arizona. Very interesting. Also flipped an RV as well. Allergy, flu, and cold season. That is true. Yeah, the other thing is too, like, I've been going out a lot more and going to the gym and stuff like that, and I probably got something there. I've been consistently going to the gym for 4 months in a row. Never got to do that in college, by the way. Never got to do that in college. That was just not something that was possible. I had obviously been full-time college, and I was also doing this full-time, and so it was like literally impossible to make it work. But 4 months straight definitely makes a difference. If you're like one of those people that's like on the edge of ever actually going to the gym, you definitely should. Definitely recommend. It takes like a week to get used to it, but it's worth it. This is Tornado Pages view of the storm east of Houston right now.
Top there. Beautiful. Yeah,
we're just getting ready to fight the tornadoes. We're gonna live stream tomorrow? We'll see. Looks likely. I mean, we got a 5% again. Appears likely.
There, you can probably see over this bridge.
Are you aware the thumbnail is a different area? It's not. Is it different? Should be updated.
There's no other reason for that.
Yeah, the thumbnail's correct.
Hello, ST Hazard. Hello, Taylor. Wow.
Wait, what? I literally have it updated on my end. How is it not the right thumbnail? What the heck? It's apparently swapping. It's in Alabama, bro. What? What in the world? I literally have the thumbnail properly. Like, there's no such thing as an A/B test on live streams. I'll change the thumbnail again. I don't know what else I can do. I literally have the on my end, it shows the right thumbnail. That is so incredibly strange. We have a new NATO cast outlook for today, and they are continuing to show a hatched area for tornadoes, which would be a 10% tornado risk. The Storm Prediction Center has not had a 10% tornado risk in place. They only have a 5%, which I agree with. But NATOcast is highlighting an area this afternoon and early evening where there could be a strong tornado or two. That'd be in far western Louisiana and in far eastern parts of Texas. So if you're in this region, definitely make sure that you're staying weather aware. Outside of that, again, 5% tornado risk is basically the same, and the 2%. So nothing different there. This is generally where we're going to be looking for the most elevated threat of severe weather over the next few hours. The storm that is east of Houston is now falling apart. The echo tops are down to 40,000 feet, so it's definitely shrinking. Got a little storm that's also gone up near College Station, but that's not really doing much. Yeah, across the board right now, these storms are definitely struggling. We'll see if this Houston one gains any traction here, but the one near Houston had a pretty decent, it looked like it was organizing. Now it's starting to fall apart. Any chance of snow in southeast Minnesota Tuesday to Wednesday? There is. Yeah, watch my video today. My video has more details on that. I've never had this issue before, but this is what it looks like right now on YouTube. Apparently, we got one. I don't know how this is even possible. One of my live streams is showing a completely different zip code, and then the other one's showing the right area. I don't know how this even happens. I think it's just bugged. I literally have the right thumbnail, and I've changed it like 5 times. It's pretty impressive, though. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen that before, though. Saw the one with the right thumbnail? Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely strange, I gotta say. I've never seen that before. Very, very strange. I'm gonna finally update for me. Well, hopefully it's fixed now. I don't know why it was like that. That's just weird. Let me go over to here. Is the storm dying? The one that's east of Houston is definitely dying. We'll have to give it a couple more scans. There has been a wall cloud with this storm at times. I mean, we've had at least photo evidence of there being a tornado. We've showed you guys that, or not tornado, sorry, or wall cloud a few times, but there's not been anything, at least on radar, that looks like it's rotating. This is another look just moments ago of this storm. And again, it does have a wall cloud there on the right, but it's definitely been struggling. Max, you drinking your protein shakes? I've been having core power drinks. They're pretty good. But yeah, this is just moments ago. We got a wall cloud there on the right. So this storm has a wall cloud, but it's on radar, obviously not looking very hot, or not looking very organized. How tall am I? I'm 8'7". Trying to see if there's any other new view of this storm. I don't see anything. That was the main view of the storm, though. That bottom middle camera is looking pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. That one is the one that's back over northwest of Houston, and it's looking at this small little shower near the woodlands. It's very ominous. Tornado Page, he's now coming up onto this very weakening storm right now. I would be surprised if we still had a wall cloud, but they're driving up into it right now. I'm 6'7". Imagine if I said I was 6'7" like 2 years ago and how diabolical that'd be now, if that was true. Still's a hook. Yeah, it has a hook, but it's struggling. For those that are excited about snow, this back over southwest of Calgary in Canada. 15 centimeters of snow. This is from Jay on Twitter. Slight overperformance in the city, apparently. I don't really forecast Canada weather that much. We've been starting to dabble a little bit more, though, into Canada weather. We've been starting to talk about it a little bit more in videos, so, I mean, maybe we'll start expanding there a bit more. But, nonetheless, there was some snow earlier. It's a good amount of snow. 15 centimeters, it's about 6 inches. For those that are getting excited about snow, we got snow coming to the upper Midwest and the northern plains over the next few days. Up to 24 inches of snow is possible in some areas. And then this weekend into next week, we could have a lot of chances of snow. So things could start to cook a little bit here soon. How many inches can Minnesota see? Again, watch my video today. Today's video has all those details. We talked about the snow and stuff like that. And we will go more in detail tomorrow morning about snow totals and stuff like that in our next video. We will have a video again tomorrow, and we'll probably be live again tomorrow anyway, so.
Hey, Sean.
This is coming up on that storm just east of Houston. Near Sheldon. How about them Patriots? I know, right? We are 10-2. I was not very impressed with yesterday's game, but we are 10-2. This is one of the weakest 10-2 teams I feel like I've ever seen, but I feel like the only weaker team was the Steelers a few years ago when they were like 11-0 or whatever it was. And they end up losing like 6 straight or something like that. They wanted a diabolical streak of losing. Right, being a Vikings fan, it hurts. Yeah, the Vikings have fallen off the last few weeks. Lions gave me gray hair. I watched that game yesterday. If I was a Lions fan, I would not even be happy about winning that game. That was not a very impressive win. My Steelers are horrible. Can't believe the Bears are 8-3. The Bears being 8-3 is the most diabolical thing ever. What's even funnier is that they could easily be 3-8. Like, they could have flipped the script entirely and been a bad team. The Chiefs? Yeah, the Chiefs got lucky yesterday. It would have been kind of funny if they were 5-6, I'm not even gonna lie. After last year. They did finally win a game, though, when they actually had to. They really had to win. If they didn't win yesterday, I think their season was going to be chalked. The right side of your screen is the storm. It does not look impressive on radar anymore. And no really wall cloud or anything like that. It's a pretty weak cell here.
What's left of it? I don't know if it can reorganize.
That is the view of the storm there on the right. Is the audio good, by the way? Might be quiet. Turn it up a little bit. Do I watch soccer? I do not. I'm not a big soccer person. The Lions played a trap game. They did not play a trap game. Every game this season for them has not been that good. Like, they beat the Bears by, like, an immense amount of points, but outside of that, like, they have not looked good. Don't forget, we are using the Radar Omega app today. You can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. There are tons of storm chasers and live cameras inside of the app. You can stay ahead of the storms today. With the Radar Omega app, there are 5 storm chasers currently out there. We got a couple live cameras as well, just northwest of Houston, a few outside of Houston as well. I definitely recommend you check this out. Again, a lot of updates are coming to the app here over the next few weeks. There's a brand new tracking tool that they literally just added as well, which is really cool. You basically just put a point. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Basically just put a point on the map, though. And then you can do all sorts of different stuff here, like tracking out storms and whatnot. So you click the little pencil tool, do a little drag tool like this with this storm, and you can get the exact timing of where this storm is going to be heading. And so you can put the locations on the map just like that. This is a brand new feature that they just added. So this storm basically will be approaching Liberty in about 40 minutes, Dayton in about 35 minutes, assuming it even stays alive. But brand new feature that they just added to the app, and there's a lot of other cool stuff coming, so definitely check out the Radar Omega app. It is the top link in the description below. There's also more live cameras that are going to be added to the app. Again, they have a huge network. Like, obviously in Texas, there's like 7 cameras, I want to say. But like, you know, in the Ohio Valley, like Tennessee, there's like over 100. But over here in Iowa, we're about to have 3 more cameras added here pretty soon. And then more cameras are going to be added to Florida as well pretty soon. So there's a lot of cameras going to be added here in the near future. And then tons of storm chasers. There's 5 right now live in the app. And another cool thing that you can do if you're on the app is you can actually do this. You can click this little gray button here. You can basically put storm chasers in like different spots. We can put Connor there. And then we can put Tornado Pagey over here. And that sort of thing. You basically have a bunch of chasers on the app. Kind of like what I have on my stream right now. But you can basically just put them wherever you want and watch the radar as well. We can put this camera on here as well. And this one has weather data as well. So it's pretty cool. So you check out the Radar Omega app. Top link in the description below on iOS and Android. The top link in the description below. All right, we're about to test our new program. So another cool thing that we have on our stream. Before we do that, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick since we don't have any crazy weather happening. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we have this brand new camera program. We'd have up to 20 cameras at any given time. We have 16, or technically 14 right now on here. So these are all different chasers, live cameras in our risk area. There's obviously way more than this, but these are the ones that we have on here right now. But what we're about to do is test something, because we haven't actually tested this on stream yet. Riley's going to put random cameras in the bottom of your screen. We're just going to filter them out. Like, he's just going to click random ones that he can put on the stream. And so, I guess go for it. We'll see what happens. There you go. We got a random camera over in... random harbor camera on the bottom left. Another random camera. I don't even know where that is. That's Colorado. And we got Hawaii. Look at that. It's easy. I didn't do anything. I had to do everything before. Now I don't have to do anything, which is nice. It makes multitasking way easier for me. We basically just have a bunch of random cameras on stream at any given time. Super easy. Why is in the risk area? Raining rocks on Hawaii. Yeah, we got a new weather threat unlocked. Yeah, literally all I have to do, so this is kind of a cool thing. So bottom right of your screen, that is slot number 3. We have 3 different slots, right? And so what I can do is I can click this little 3-bar thing. I'm gonna highlight it so you guys can see it, but it's this button right here. I click that, and I click the number, what slot I want to go to. So I can click 3, and it'll change in the bottom right, pretty much instantly. It's a cool little thing that our team of developers have been working on. I can literally change any of these cameras. Makes things way easier than before. And obviously, I mentioned this already, but all the storm chasers, or at least most of them, will have locations on. So you can see on the bottom right, like CJ, for example, it shows his location now. That was a thing that we have not had. And then if we put Tornado Pagey bottom left, you can see Crosby, Texas. So we actually have locations of the chasers now embedded on the cameras itself, which is pretty cool. It's not something we had before. Obviously, I've always relayed where they are, but it makes it way easier for those that are just looking at the cameras to be able to actually know where things are happening. So, and pretty soon we're going to be working on something where at whatever state we're in or whatever region we're in, we're going to have it somewhere on the screen where it'll basically say, like, maybe up here, I don't know where it'll be. Maybe up here it'll say, like, you know, we're looking at, like, Texas, for example, or something like that. We're working on something like that as well with Radar Omega. That way we can also just kind of make things a little bit clearer on what we're looking at. So. And I did show this off a little earlier, but another cool project that we are working on that we're hoping to have done by our next live stream, which would probably be tomorrow, would be this right here. Basically be something where you submit your own report or image/videos. It makes it way easier for us. That way we don't have to keep going to Facebook and Twitter and looking through DMs and all that. And basically you just, you know, if you want to do a text report, let's say you want to report you had quarter-sized hail, but you don't have a photo of it, you basically just click the hail button, the report type, you put your name in, and then you also put the general location and then a remark on what actually happened. Same thing goes for the image report. And we're going to probably integrate this at least into our little camera map program that we have here. So if we go over to camera map, it'll take a second for the cameras to load, but this is our like camera map. We'll at least integrate it into here. We might even integrate it into something else like Omega at some point. You never know. Like, it's possible. But at least at the bare minimum, we're going to integrate it into our little camera map. And that way we can have a more streamlined way to get reports from you guys. Because obviously chat can be pretty difficult to get reports from, but since it moves so fast in some cases. And then right now, this is all the cameras, which right now, across the board, we've officially hit 40,000 cameras that we can use on a live stream. 40,000. We have a network of 40,000 cameras. There are 9 active chasers right now, so it's a huge network. We even got Canadian cameras. But this is all like in-house stuff. I know a lot of people ask, like, can I access this? Unfortunately, you cannot. It is all in-house programs that we have for our live streams. But you never know. Maybe one day we'll have some sort of public version of it. Can't rule it out. Snowing in Georgia somehow. I don't believe that, but good story. I don't know if it's something else, but it's definitely not snow. This is the remnants of that storm east of Houston. Looks like nothing. It's like an ordinary day here in Houston.
Best shot at anything's gonna be
Yeah.
where that lake is over that way. In about 2 hours, I bet. And after that, if nothing happens there,
Try again tomorrow.
Weird flex? It's not a weird flex, it's just, it's like in-house programs that we have. Specifically for our live streams.
And all that
So.
rain's there, but
All stuff that we've made for our live streams. How's it going, William? Hey, Waco for the super chat. Is Waco done with severe weather? You guys are good in Waco. Waco is done with severe weather. We got a drone shot here from Storm Chaser Connor Croft. This is actually Brandon Payne today. He's the one that rides along with Connor. This is from Huntsville, Texas. They have a drone now, so we'll be able to look at a drone shot in some streams. Connor Croft is one of our longest tenured chaser on our channel. He's been with us for over 2 years now. And they now officially have a drone, which is pretty cool. Droner Croft. I'm watching here from Georgia on my Thanksgiving trip. Appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Again, we are only a few days away from Thanksgiving. I'll be taking a little bit of time off on Thanksgiving, at least that day. I'll probably still have a video. I think we're gonna have daily videos over the next several days, especially since we have a winter storm coming up next, like on the weekend. Little heads up, by the way. Tentatively, my plan right now is that I have no clue how next week is going to work, but I am going on my only vacation this year, November 30th to December 7th. So it's about a 7-day stretch that I will be gone. I will probably, I don't know how I'm going to be able to make videos because I'll be on a cruise ship. It's not going to be like a normal, like I'm, you know, at a hotel or something that it's easy to have Wi-Fi because cruise ships do not have great Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure how videos will work next week, but we're at the bare minimum going to hopefully have videos next week. Hopefully every day. I'm not sure how that'll work, but it'll be my one and only vacation really this year that I'm going on. So I know the weather's gonna be active, but obviously the vacation timing was not planned great. We have weather happening, but hopefully it kind of is chill. I know the weekend looks pretty active. If anything, like we could have a live stream Saturday if the weather is significant enough. I'm not sure if it will be. Right now it looks kind of meh. Depends on what model you really look at. I mean, the European model shows a more significant event happening Saturday into Sunday, so we could have a live stream Saturday if something were to happen, but there would be no live streams unless something significant were to happen. If there's something significant that happens on like Sunday or something after that, I will probably have at least Riley have access to be able to go live on our channel if needed. If we don't do that, we'll at least have him go live on his channel, which is Mr. Dibble on YouTube. It's linked in the description, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if I see a significant enough weather event a couple days before I go away, then I will have Riley have access to go live on this channel because obviously it reaches a lot more people than what his channel would. So, but we're gonna make that decision later in the week once we actually know what's happening. Because right now, I mean, Saturday, Sunday, we're probably gonna see some severe weather Saturday across the deep south. Sunday doesn't look like anything too crazy right now. Then after that, we don't know what's going to happen, really. It's just too early to tell. The GFS model shows a much more active weather pattern than the European model, but it also doesn't show as much severe weather. So I'll have to wait and see. Tornado touchdown, Northwest Houston. Pics and videos are coming out now. Yeah, we've been showing them over the last hour. There's actually 3 tornado reports on the Radar Mega app here. 3 different reports on the bottom or in the middle of your screen. One of which was in Clean. Damage was reported from the Clean Fire Department complex along Strubner Airline Road. Photos showed debris scattered in the area with downed fences and scattered traffic cones. Siding was peeled off of portions of an engine building, a metal shed, and then it got cut off. And then a storm chaser shared photos on social media of damage along Village Hills Drive and Colony Creek. Photos show numerous trees down with one large tree uprooted, and roof damage could also be seen. And then another one showed a funnel cloud and then a tornado, at least a weak tornado happening north of Jersey Village. So we've had 3 different tornado reports. That was all the same tornado. We believe there was at least 2 tornadoes from this storm. Have Riley make videos? No, I'll still make videos. I mean, the internet on the cruise is like throttled. It's only supposed to be like 4 megabytes a second of upload. So I mean, if I uploaded a video, it'd take like an hour. So that'd be kind of annoying. But outside of that, like as long as I can record, I mean, I'll still be doing videos. I mean, I'll be drinking quite a bit at night, but I'll try to make the videos earlier in the day. Video schedule will be different though. Video schedule will be different compared to what it is now. It'll probably be like early mid-afternoon uploads instead of doing morning uploads, so that'll change, but that'll be temporarily a thing. I mean, again, that's only going to last a few days, so it'll probably be a more than anything like a, I don't know, 6-day stretch or so that we have videos like that. There's also a chance that we have a winter forecast come out at the very end of that time period. We might have like a white Christmas forecast come out on like the 7th, so we'll see. Drunk Max would be epic. I've only been drunk like twice. I'll be really honest, I've only been drunk like twice. It is an experience. That's all I gotta say. It is an experience. Max, were you watching the LA police chases the other night? Yes. I do pop into that chat sometimes. Yeah, I watch those police chases sometimes. If you ever see me there. Imagine if we did police chase live streams. I wish we had like a helicopter and we could do that. It would be so interesting. I gotta say, like those police chases that happen over in California, they're very interesting. I've watched a bunch of them. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing until this year. Like, it got recommended to my YouTube, and I was like, I did not know that was even a thing. Use Starlink. The ship has Starlink. It's just throttled, but I can't bring my own Starlink. So. Pay for Max to see Max drunk. There's a police chase. I mean, there could be a police chase somewhere, but there's nothing live. But I've been in that chat before whenever something happens. It is an experience. Got a new special weather statement up near Lindale, Texas, near Tyler for gusty winds. Gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour in pea-sized hail. That is one of the weakest special weather statements that you can possibly get. Alright, we're back to Hawaii now in the bottom right. Okay. I guess we have a Hawaii live stream happening in real time. Yeah, can we stop with the Hawaii cameras? What is going on here? This is the one problem with this program. Now we're gonna have random cameras at the bottom. I did not do that, by the way. I do not have control. I have control of these cameras, but other people do too. As of right now, again, no really interesting storms. Everything's been pretty chill. Don't have anything rotating. Just gusty winds, small hail. Pretty chill right now. I forgot Hawaii volcano live streams exist. They do. Oh, we have the same camera on twice. That's exciting too. Let me fix that. There we go. You know who's to blame? Yeah, it would be Mr. Riley. Riley has taken over the cameras. Check Illinois for what? Illinois has rain. Big news. We got some showers going into Chicago. The shower city. When's anybody in the chat, like, when's the last time any of you guys had White Christmas, and where was it? I'm curious. I don't feel like we've had, like, a widespread White Christmas in such a long time. Where's Cheese Curd? He is sleeping on my router, actually, which is probably not a good thing. Yeah, she's currently sleeping on my router. Pretty impressive. Not that router, the other one. Just my internet one. Yeah, if we lost connection, it would be because of her. Never. I live in Florida. Yeah, I would hope you didn't have a White Christmas in Florida. That'd be crazy. Router is comfortable to sleep on. Don't knock it till you try it. I mean, it's warm. About it. Got a heat source. Outside of that, there isn't really much. You bang your guitar? No, I just threw my phone across my desk. So you heard a big bang. That was why. Why'd you throw your phone? Just an accident. Who's taking care of Cheese Curd while you're gone? I already got that figured out. It won't be me. She's not coming on that cruise ship. Probably freak out if we're on a cruise ship. All right. Well, we don't have any warnings. It's been quiet. We have a tornado watch, but again, there's nothing rotating right now. And so, at least for right now, I'm going to take a break. I mean, if anything happens again, we'll go live again. I do think tonight it's going to ramp up again. I just think right now we're in a lull. It's 3:20 right now. So, again, the weather's really quiet. The weather should increase in coverage again later today. So, if anything happens again, we'll go live. We have a bunch of storm chasers out there like John McKinney, Cotter Croft, Vince Walty, as well as Tornado Pagey and CJ Ziegler. You can check them out inside of the Radar Omega app. You can also watch them on YouTube. Feel free to watch them while we're at it. I mean, again, until we have something concrete that's actually happening, we're just going to go ahead and take a break. You'll get notified again if you have the notification bell on. Make sure to click that so you're notified when we go live again. If we go live again, you'll be notified. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already. And we're going to rate our 24/7 camera live stream. So at least at the bare minimum, you'll be able to see live radar and as well as all the cameras across our tornado watch. All right. So you'll at least at the minimum be able to watch our live cameras all across the country. So make sure to check that out. And you'll be redirected automatically to that in the meantime. And then we'll see you guys all again possibly later today. If nothing happens, which I don't think is going to be the case, but if nothing happens, we'll see you in a video tomorrow. If there is a tornado warning again, we'll probably be live for that. So just make sure you're subscribed and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live again. All right. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And we'll see you guys all again possibly within the next couple hours, maybe in a few hours. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Take care. And we'll see you guys all again soon.